Prime Minister Modi unlikely to have summit meet with Chinese President Xi. No mention of Modi-Xi meet in itinerary. Galwan freeze yet to thaw in Sino-Indian ties. Gogra disengagement fails to mend ties. Modi-Xi to come face-to-face, but no formal meet. That's the latest that's coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs. Remember that the Prime Minister is scheduled to attend the SCO summit, the meeting that is to take place in Uzbekistan. He will be arriving in Uzbekistan later this evening. Now, sources telling India Today Prime Minister Modi is unlikely to have a summit meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Listen in to Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra.
But I don't see there is any conflict between that and the leaders' discussions, bilateral discussions between the leaders that take place on the sidelines of the SCO summit. So I think the two are different buckets, and they both stand on their own in that sense. Well, I really don't have an answer on the boat ride. I think it's a Prime Minister's schedule in Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit this time. As he's there for a very brief period. Essentially, he reaches there later tonight, attends the restricted and the extended session tomorrow, and the couple of other engagements which are relating to SCO summit tomorrow. Does a set of bilateral meetings, which, as I said, we'll keep you apprised of as they unfold, and then returns later tonight, scheduled to return tomorrow night, sorry. If there is a boat ride in this...
The context, the context of the question was the leaders who reached already.
Yeah.
There was an event where they were taken for a boat ride. Yeah. I don't think Prime Minister will.
Prime Minister will attend his programs relating to the summit after he reaches there and for the time that he's there. Yeah, thank you.
I had interrupted you, so for honor. Yeah, please.
My question is just about Russian oil. Is Russian offering deeper discounts on its oil as an inducement for India to not join the G7 price cap proposal? And if so, how steep are the discounts?
You have to bring it to some with this. This is a special briefing on the SCO, so I would not like to have Foreign Secretary also.
Okay.
Is there a SCO link to it?
Out there. And also, just I'm sorry to just follow up. You know, the Russian side has confirmed that there will be a bilateral meeting between Putin and Prime Minister Modi. So I just wanted to follow up.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, please.
सर, मेरा नाम शैलेश कुमार है और मैं नेशनल डिफेंस से हूँ। मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ कि क्या SCO बाय एंड लार्ज चाइना सेंट्रिक हो गया है, भारत को इससे क्या फ़ायदा हुआ है, खास करके जितने भी मेंबर स्टेट्स हैं वो सब जिनजियांग से लगे हुए हैं उनके बॉर्डर्स, और एक तरह से चीन जब से शंघाई 5 और उसके बाद SCO आया तब से जिनजियांग को उन्होंने पूरी तरह से सेटल कर लिया, चाहे टेररिज्म हो, चाहे और भी समस्याएं और डेमोग्राफी चेंज जो कि 50% लगभग चेंज हो गई है, इंटरनलाइजेशन ऑफ उइगर्स मुस्लिम्स, वो सब कर लिया, लेकिन चीन ओवरलुक करता रहा है हमारे कंसर्न्स को, चाहे वो PRI एक्सटेंड कर रहा हो सब जगह, पर वो CPEC हमारी सोवरेनिटी को चैलेंज कर रहे हैं। अभी हमारे बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट है,
छोटा रखें क्वेश्चन।
क्या चीन जो है हमारे इंटरेस्ट को ओवरलुक कर रहा है और अपने इंटरेस्ट को प्रमोट कर रहा है?
Thank you. Question right to the back. I'll come back. One by one. Yeah, Pranay, go ahead.
सर, प्रणय उपाध्याय ABP न्यूज से। सर, मेरी दो छोटी जिज्ञासा हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी जा रहे हैं समरकंद में, तो वहाँ कई SCO देशों का ये प्रस्ताव है कि डोमेस्टिक ट्रेड के लिए जो या रीजनल ट्रेड या बायलैटरल ट्रेड के लिए करेंसी, जो लोकल करेंसीज हैं उनका इस्तेमाल किया जाए। भारत का उस पर क्या नजरिया है? दूसरी बात, एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी को लेकर कितना महत्वपूर्ण होगा प्रधानमंत्री का बायलैटरल?
My colleague and Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan is now joining me live from Samarkand, Uzbekistan at the moment. Geeta, the Foreign Secretary there, of course, not confirming that there will be a meeting on the sidelines of the SCO between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping. Does that mean that there is no thaw in the relations between India and China despite the disengagement at Gogra Hot Springs?
Well, Paulami, there still are a lot of contentious issues. The fact that complete disengagement is yet to take place, de-escalation far from over. So there is a lot that still needs to be done from the Chinese side. Having said that, Gogra Hot Springs, Paulami, really set the tone and tenor for at least the two leaders to acknowledge each other, if not a structured bilateral. We do know that there are structured bilaterals that have been firmed up between Prime Minister Modi and the Iranian president, Uzbek president, and certainly the Russian president. But with the Chinese president, it is not going to be a structured bilateral. We'll again have to wait and see whether if the atmosphere has been created for them to at least shake hands and have an informal conversation. And should that happen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to emphasize on the fact that disengagement in other areas is essential for business to go back to normal. Also, more importantly, the Chinese side again will be looking at all the aspects of the bans that have been imposed, the restrictions that have been imposed by India on Chinese apps as also telecom companies. So very important day tomorrow where the Chinese president and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be coming face to face for the first time since the Galwan clashes.
Also, Geeta, very importantly, you did point out, and this has been confirmed by the Russian side as well, that Prime Minister Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin will in fact meet on the sidelines of SCO. What's expected?
Well, a lot in terms of energy and food. We know that the Russia-Ukraine crisis has brought to fore, Paulami, the entire issue and problem of energy and food security, whether it is Europe or for that matter, the world. The world today faces the biggest crisis when it comes to food and energy, and that certainly is going to be a very important part of the conversations. But apart from that, the news that Iran and the initiation of Iran as a full member of the SCO is going to take place here in Samarkand and will conclude when India becomes chair in 2023, that's next year, and will host the SCO summit. A very significant development there, and Iran will become a full member. So Iran, energy security certainly will be discussed, but for India, connectivity is paramount. And in that connectivity, Iran's Chabahar port is going to play a very important role where India has invested and has stakes in for stability in Afghanistan. Now, the Taliban, like the coordinator of Uzbekistan for SCO issues said that has not been invited for the summit this time is because there is no international recognition for the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. They still have a lot to do, but Afghanistan as part of the conversation is certainly going to be an important one, whether if it is among the leaders or between India and Russia.
Right. Geeta, from every account, of course, that you're narrating over there, this is going to be an extremely important SCO meet. Geeta, thank you so much for joining us.